everyone, it's Megamon here, and today it's time for, well, something that was actually inspired by someone. I found some random girl on YouTube that did a talk about an anime, and, well, I've been planning to talk about a lot of anime, for a long time, but I never actually got around to it. I always wanted to do it in a review, but as of late, I have been getting a lot of copyright strikes, so I don't want that to be happening. So I guess I'll just talk and have random pictures fly all over the place. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know the girl's name, the channel name or whatever, it's, if you could remember this chick's name in Challenge Showdown, that's the first part of it, at least. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Sword Art Online. Now, Sword Art Online was an anime that I found out through a friend. We were on the bus to a concert or something we were playing. We were just talking about anime, and he brought up Sword Art Online. I ended up finding it on Crunchyroll, and I watched it. The first episode, I think, was really well played. Actually, it reminded me a lot of Digimon. Being sent into this weird virtual reality with these stuff and possibly life-threatening situation. That kind of reminded me of that, I guess. So it was kind of nostalgic in a way. Also, during this, I was kind of going through a video game phase with Persona 3. That's just about it. I guess that was it, because I already went through my entire video game phase. For the most part, the first episode was very well played. Actually, the entire first season was well played. I think one thing about Sword Art Online that I haven't seen before was really top-notch animation. Because in terms of anime, I actually don't watch a lot of anime, as weird as that sounds, even though I seem to talk about it a lot. I'm more a fan of manga than anime, and even when I do watch anime, it's normally old stuff like Digimon, Pokemon, and stuff with not really big budgets. And even when I do see something with big budgets, I normally don't see these kind of things. Like, let's take a random anime, Soul Eater. Yeah. I actually would say it's just about the same as Naruto in terms of animation quality. It's nothing special. But in terms of Sword Art Online, they did a really good job with animation. It's something that blew my mind when I first saw it. The shading, the bloom, the art style even, how it kind of reflects everything, look very nice. It stayed on model, of course. I don't think there's any modern anime that doesn't stay on model unless it's on purpose. And I think the first season, SAO, and the second season, LAO, Alpha Online, did a good job animating. And that's something that just consistently amazed me. I think the battle scenes were also very well done. The backgrounds were amazing, and it was just good. It just looked really, really good. In terms of voice acting, it's nothing that you haven't heard before, you know. It's good. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's passo, you know. It's still good. A dub hasn't been released yet, so I don't know how that'll turn out. I kind of hope they get Johnny Young Bosch to play the main villain in Season 1. Just hoping. I don't know, that kind of seems like something for him. Then again, that guy's an old guy, so maybe that wouldn't work too well. But anyways, in terms of the story, SAO follows basically this one story. Beat the game, and you get out alive. Because if you die in the game, you die in real life. Although it does delve into something that I did actually kind of have a problem with in the beginning, where later in the series it does present the fact that some people don't think that this is true. And it could very well not be. I mean, you have seen no real evidence. Everything that was shown beforehand could have just been a hoax and some edited stuff, and he just wants to keep you in this internal world, becoming the god, and blah 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 blah. And I think that's true. You know what? Some people have a valid point, but that doesn't give them a right to do what they did. But you guys can watch that episode. I'll put the episode number there, blah blah blah. The rest of basically the story is just a hero story, you know. Actually, I can give you a pretty good example of what somebody thinks of this.
Online.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Sword Art Online is the most overhyped and disappointing anime that lost the most kinetic energy of anything this season.
Well, I haven't continued watching it. I'm like 7 episodes
It's really
behind.
good. It's really compelling.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of agree with him in a way. But I do think it is kind of good. Not kind of. I think it's really good. In the one fact that its filler episodes are good. I think are really, really good. I really like this story where the main character is just playing, isn't really the main focus, but more of that guy that's just like off to the side, kind of helping him. And it builds up his character more as just a nice guy. Even though that might not be what he is in real life, it kind of builds him up as a really nice guy. A guy that you would hang out with in real life, and and you can see why he's popular, or blah 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 blah, or why it's harem or it's online. Or something like that, because, all the girls fall for him. Not even kidding. But I think it lost focus. It had a really strong beginning, but I think it fell flat on a lot of things. Like with Asuna. Asuna was not introduced until much later into the series, and I think that was a major flaw. For one thing, she's in the intro. You'd think she'd be really important throughout the entire series, but nope, we don't see her until 2 years later. 2 years later in the game. At least I think that is, if my memory is correct. But 2 years later in the game. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Is that how you're gonna do this? Is that really how you're gonna play this out? No. No. No, that doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. She's in the intro. And, she is an important character. I wouldn't say she isn't. Kirito, and Asuna have a really good romance story, but the problem is it doesn't fit. It's good, but it doesn't seem to fit. Because in the beginning, I guess you could call it action. In the ending of the first season, I guess you could call it romance. Because all the action slips away once they start getting into more romantic stuff. And I think that's where it started losing its focus. It could have been really, really a really cool thing, and they do touch on a lot of interesting stuff that could happen in a virtual world, but I don't think it'd be exactly the right way to do this, to switch to a romantic thing so easily. That's too easy. They were being lazy. They couldn't have intertwined it with other things, like throughout the entire story. Maybe Asuna could have been his partner from the beginning, and they adventured together and other stuff. Sure, that's stereotypical, but maybe they part ways at a certain point, like at episode 3, and then he sees her later, and blah blah blah. That would give us a bit more of a reason. Again, granted, it tells an okay romance story, but it tries to mix it in with all this action and really kind of depressing things sometimes. And I don't think it does it perfectly well. I just don't think so. And, Alphem Online. ALO, which I don't even want to consider part of the series. It's Digimon Season 2. I just compared it to Digimon earlier, but yeah, it's Digimon Season 2. And you cannot deny that. Where is the threat? What threat is there? They could have ended it off like Batum, or My Little Monster, or Orimo, or something like that. They could have ended it off there. They could have just ended it off at episode 14 or whatever. You could have done that. You could have done that. But they didn't. And therefore, we have a pretty uninteresting story. A very, very uninteresting story, which I didn't mind at first, but the more I look back at it, the more I don't like it. Okay, so Kirito is out of the virtual world and now is... Crap, I forgot his name, because Kirito is the only name that's said besides Oni-chan that he's called, because he just states his official name a couple of times in the series, so I'm just gonna call him Kirito. Why do I do that? Kirito. Now I can't do it. Kirito. I'm pronouncing that wrong. Blah blah blah. Rambles. And he has had no time in the series besides the ending part in danger. Yeah, sure, he's trying to do, and by the way, spoilers in this second part of the season, he's trying to save Asuna because she's still trapped in the game. Sure, fine. Whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to eliminate all threat. What is she really doing? What is happening to her? She is literally sitting in a cell doing absolutely nothing while he fucks about, trying to help people get to the world tree. that supposedly is an impossible quest. And it was very... And the incest plotline with his little sister loving her own Nietzsche, her big brother. That came out of nowhere. I don't mind the story. You know, I guess I'm desensitized or something, but I really don't care about that story itself. I just care that it came out of nowhere. We literally get no pass between these two. I would actually have rather the second season of Sword Art Online turn into a spin-off series of it. And turn into more of a relationship kind of thing where he's still with Asuna and they go to school or whatever. You know, just like a spin-off anime. That could have actually worked. Have the first one be action, the next one be just stuff. If you want to make money. I mean, people will watch it. I mean, look at the slice of life anime genre. It's just gonna, you know, people are gonna watch it. And they could have built a lot of backstory in the second season as well, considering that he's out of the game, he's in real life, and he's talking to real people. And, you know, but they spend all the time in the game. They spend all the time in the game. That's all they do. That's all they do in the second part, and I don't get it. Introduce some things to us. The new character that was introduced, I don't even remember. He's that forgettable. Oh my god, I don't remember a whole lot from the series. Oh my god. I don't remember the names of his... Oh, Sugo. Yeah, Sugo is I guess, friend from middle school, grade school. I couldn't tell which grade. I'm guessing middle school. He's so forgettable. I don't even know why he was there. He's a new character in the intro, but what does he do? He does nothing. But I do have to give props from the last episode. The last episode was ended fantastically, clearing up loose ends and everything else. You know, you get to see everyone in real life, and you get to see that they're pretty much the same. You get to see how that's affected them, and blah, 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 blah. I think that helps a lot. That helped me kind of get... that was really refreshing when I saw it, which was actually, I think, 2 days ago. I've lost track of time. Every day is just blending in together right now. But, I think that really, really helped it along. You know, that helped me give hope to the series. You know, maybe this could have been a great series. Maybe this is how they intended it to end, and, you know, they just had a little bit of roughing up, you know, kind of like Code Geass R2, you know, just had some troubles. I'm not going to say that I hate ALO, but I'm going to say I don't like it as an addition to SAO. I just don't. It's... yeah. And that's pretty much my talk about it. I don't really have much to say about it, because it's that. It's an anime which I found that was really, really good, and I ended up marathoning it until I got to the... I think I entered it when the second season just started, and so I marathoned it until that point. And I was having a lot of fun with it, but then it just dropped the ball. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with the first season. The main character was likable. Most of the... oh, actually, I would say all the characters are reasonably likable, except the villains, but they're not supposed to be. I like the relationship thing. I just wish they could have intertwined it a little bit better. If you're going to make a romance story, do it with something else. And A1 Pictures did a great job with the animation, and I think overall it's a good anime, and it's good for a first watch. If you want to watch it a second time, I only suggest watching the first season. And if you do like the second season, no problems. I don't care if you do or not, but I really wouldn't suggest it to the casual fan, because, to be honest, if you're like me, you probably don't like it at all. You probably don't like the second season as much. Well, whatever, that's enough of my ramblings. Well, I guess I'll be doing this more often, so please make sure to check them out if you will, or whatever, blah blah blah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, see you guys later.
明日からまた日月間ほら水木回って金土日曜夢の日々を